Hello Wild family, my name's Beth for anyone who doesn't know me, and today I'm bringing you a Wild Flow class from my home into yours. And I think it's important in times like these to do a really holistic practice so that we move all parts of the body and hopefully hit on any tension points that you have today, and we release any of those stuck energies. All right, we'll start today in Supta Baddha Konasana. So coming down onto your back body, letting your upper body rest down, head rest down on the floor, bringing your feet together, letting the knees drop out wide. And if that's not comfortable for you, you could always place your feet on the edges of the mat and let your knees knock in together, or you could take your legs long. And if you're comfortable in this shape, then you start to just let your knees drop down towards the mat, so you feel an opening and a softening through the front of the hip. And I invite you to take one hand to your belly and one hand to your chest. And this is a part of the class where we really think about grounding in and preparing for the practice. So you might firstly just like to notice how your body is in this space, how it's feeling, and how supported it is by the structure below. So if you just do a little scan from the top of your head down to your feet, and notice where you're making a point of connection with the mat. And then noticing that you are really supported here by the mat, so much so that you can soften and relax your body, release with the breath. And we'll do that with a really nice, long, deep breath. So when you're ready, start to shift your breath into just that, one that's nice and long and deep on the way in, and a slow exhale out. And with that breath, can you see if you can draw it all the way down into your body, into your belly? So that when you inhale, you feel the hand that's on your belly rise with the breath in, and you feel it fall back down with the breath out. A deep belly breath. Think about taking a few more of those, each time filling your body up with air, nourishing it, and on the exhale, releasing, softening as you breathe out. All those breaths there deep into the belly, feeling the hand rise and fall. Now can you take a slight variation of a deep breath where you really think about breathing into the rib cage, so that you feel the hand that's on your chest rise and fall with the breath, and you feel the ribs expand to the sides, front and back. So an exaggerated chest breath there. Take a few more like that, feeling the ribs expand, all the breath into the chest, softening on the way out. And then when you're ready for it, we'll put those two together. So we take a big full body breath, and you'll feel the belly expand, the ribs expand to the sides, front and back. Your whole body there fills up with that nourishing breath. Let's go for it now. Full body breath in, nice and slow, and then a deep, long exhale out. Keep going like that. Deep, beautiful, big breath in. And an exhale out. Continue with those full body breaths. Noticing if each exhale can help you soften here just a bit more. And we'll take 2 more breaths here. And after the second breath, you can start to bring your knees in together. And we'll prepare to come up to seated. So you might like to just sit your body up or take your body to the side. Or you could rock and roll on your spine a little bit here as you take your hands around your shins. Do a little rock on the back body. And then when you're ready, you just come to a gentle seated position. And from seated, we'll start with a twist. So the left hand will come to the right knee, the right hand behind the spine. And we'll inhale nice and tall before we exhale, twist and rotate towards the back. Holding it here for a couple of breaths, can you let each inhale lengthen your spine and each exhale rotate you just a little bit more? Good. We'll stay for one more deep breath in. And then an exhale to release, taking it to the other side, right hand to left knee, left hand behind. Inhale nice and tall through the spine. Exhale to rotate and twist towards the back. Gaze comes over the back shoulder, and again you lengthen with the in-breath. You rotate with the out-breath. One more deep breath in, and then an exhale to release. A little side body stretch here. Take the left hand to the ground, inhale the right hand high, and then exhale side bend towards the left. Really thinking about keeping that right sit bone plugged down into the mat so that you create length through the right side body, reaching through the fingertips. One more deep breath in here. And an exhale brings you back out. Plant the right hand down, then inhale the left hand high, reach it for the sky. Exhale, find your side bend now to the other side. Again, think about planting the left seat bone down into the ground. Reach out through the left fingertips. Rotate the shoulder back so that you're opening through the chest there too. One more deep breath in. And then an exhale brings you back to center. Just walk your hands forward now so you find a gentle forward fold. Just a nice soft one to start up. Walking the hands forward, and you can always tent the fingers if that feels good for you there. One more deep breath in. And then exhale to come back up, and we'll move on to all fours. So bringing the hips over the knees and the shoulders over the wrists. We'll take a little thread here, plant the left hand down, inhale the right hand high, and then exhale, come down, land on your right shoulder, press your left hand into the mat and find a twist. And you can stay here, or you might like to take a bind where you take the left hand to the roof and then wrap it around your body so it sits the hand in between the thigh and the hip. Just an option, that one there. Stay for one more breath in. Then if you've got the bind on the exhale, release it. Press your left hand into the ground. Inhale the right hand high towards the roof. And then exhale, release it back down. Other side, so press through the right hand now. Inhale the left hand high, look up. And then exhale to thread it under. Come down to rest on your left shoulder. Press your right hand into the mat. Let it bring you into your twist. And then if you like, you take the bind. So you take the right hand to the roof, bring it around the back body, tuck it in between the hip and the thigh. Find a twist, always thinking about opening that top shoulder. One more deep breath in here. And then on the exhale, unbind. If you've gone for the bind, press the right hand in. Inhale the left hand high, gazes up. And then exhale, bring it back down to the mat. Take a breath in, draw your belly button in. As you exhale, extend your right leg back. And then when you inhale, take your left arm forward. And we'll just hold it here a couple of breaths. With your gaze down towards the mat, can you really think about zipping the belly in? One more deep breath in, and then you can either stay here or you can reach back to take hold of your lifted foot as you bend the lifted knee. And then think about really kicking back into the hand so that you find an opening through the front of your shoulder and the front of your hip. And you feel that kick sort of lift you up there. One more deep breath in, and then an exhale to release. Stretch the limbs out long again, and then plant the left hand, take the left leg just out to the diagonal, keep the right leg lifted, and take the right hand to the sky, modified side plank. A deep breath in, and on the exhale, reach for the front of the room with the lifted hand. So extending one long line through the body. Another deep breath in, and then you can either stay here or a similar movement to what we just did. You come back and take hold of the lifted foot with the lifted hand, and you kick back into the hand again to find an opening through the front of the shoulder and the hip. One more deep breath in, and then an exhale to release. Plant the hand down. Take that lifted leg all the way out to the side and plant the foot down so it's in line with your hip. Then start to sit back towards your left foot. You can walk your hands out, find a fold in the body and an opening through the hip in this position. We'll stay here for one more deep breath in and an exhale out. As you inhale next time, come back to your hands and knees pose. And we'll move through the other side. So an inhale draws your belly in, an exhale extends your left leg back, and then an inhale reaches your right arm forward. And you hold it there, just a few breaths, thinking about pressing into the grounded hand and knee, keeping you steady. One more breath in, and then you can either stay here or you take your hand back, take hold of your lifted foot and kick back into the hand, finding an opening through the front of your body, left hip, right shoulder. Good, stay for one more deep breath in, and then exhale to release. Stretch the limbs out long again, keep them lifted. Then take the right hand to the ground, bring the right shin just out to the diagonal, lift the left hand up as you keep the left leg lifted and long. Modified side plank. Take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, sweep your arm forward, reach for the front of the room. Then you can either stay here or you could take the option of the bind where you reach back, take hold of your lifted foot, and again you kick back into the hand, find an opening through the chest and the shoulder and the hip. One more deep breath in, and then as you exhale, left hand comes down, left leg stays long, and then you sweep it right round to the side so that's in line with the hip. And then you sit back towards the right heel, letting the arms stretch out long, finding a fold with the body at the same time as opening the left hip. One more deep breath in here, and an exhale out. As you inhale next time, come back up to hands and knees. Start to tuck your toes under, take a deep breath in, and then on the exhale, lift your hips up, find a downward facing dog. And the first time here, you might like to take some movement, coming up onto the toes of one foot, switching over for the other, pedaling out the feet. Or you might like something else to start your practice, perhaps some more movement in the hips. Or you might like to come up onto both toes at one time and then drop back down. Lifting up onto the toes and dropping back down. You just do what works for you here. Just for a few more breaths, and then we'll find our stationary down dog. When you found your stationary down dog, we'll start to flow through on an inhale to find a high plank. And you can always drop the knees here, or you can stay with them lifted. If you've got them lifted, or wherever you are, can you think about really pressing the earth away with your hands to get a rounding through your upper back? Keeping the kneecaps lifted, legs are strong, belly's zipped in. We'll take one more deep breath here, and then as you exhale, start to bend your knees, sit your hips back towards your heels, but so that your knees are lifted off the ground. One more breath in, and an exhale out. As you inhale next time, come back into your high plank, and then as you exhale, use your low belly, pull back to downward facing dog. Let's flow through that a few times. So inhale to come forward, find a high plank. Exhale, sit your hips towards your heels, keep your knees lifted just off the mat. Inhale to come forward, high plank, shoulders over the wrists. Exhale, downward facing dog. A few more times. Inhale forward, find high plank. Exhale, hips towards the heels, knees just hover. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 more times. Ripple forward, high plank. Exhale, hips to heels, knees hover. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last time. Inhale, come forward, high plank. Exhale, hips to heels, knees hover off the mat. Inhale, high plank, come forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come up onto the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, step, hop or walk forward to the front of the mat and find a forward fold. So you might like ragdoll here. It's a nice option for the start of the class where you take hold of the opposite elbow with a hand. And if you've got that bind, you're in ragdoll, you might like to swing a little bit side to side. Can feel really good in the back body there. Just be mindful of bending the knees as much as you need to in your forward fold so that you feel a nice lengthening through your whole back body and not too much strain in the legs. So the aim of the bend in the knees brings your chest closer to your thighs and you feel hopefully a nicer sensation through that whole back body. We'll stay for 2 more deep breaths here in this fold. When the 2 breaths are complete, you start to release the bind, let the hands come towards the mat. And then we'll inhale, coming up to standing, rolling the shoulders back. Inhale, reach for the sky. And then exhale, let's find a forward fold. Breathe in for a halfway lift, lengthen the spine out from the pelvis. Let the crown reach towards the front of the room. Belly zips in. 1 more deep breath in, exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. 1 more, breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, downward facing dog. We'll come through a vinyasa now, so when you're ready, shift forward into a high plank. On the breath in. As you exhale, lower down towards the mat, either halfway for an upward dog or all the way down for a cobra. Then it's your choice of back bend, upward dog or cobra on the inhale, and down dog on the exhale breath. Lift the hips up. Inhale, come onto the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, step, hop or walk forward to the front. Halfway lift, breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, reach for the sky, mountain pose. As you exhale this time, start to cactus the arms, bring the elbows down by the side. Really think about rolling the shoulders back and opening through the chest. On your next breath in, take the hands behind you, interlace them. And if that doesn't work for you, you can always just take hold of the opposite elbow. If you can though, interlace them, think about opening through the shoulders more. And then as you take your next exhale, bend the knees, bring the chest towards the thighs and the hands towards the roof. Take 1 more breath in here and an exhale out. As you inhale next time, release the bind, sweep the earth with your hands, sit down into chair pose, lift the arms up. We'll hold it here for another breath in and a breath out. 1 last inhale and then hands together. Straighten the legs forward, fold, breath out. Breathe in for a halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, downward facing dog. From here, a vinyasa, forward on the in-breath. Exhale to lower. Back bend, breath in. Down dog, breath out. And we'll do that a few times here. So inhale, toes. Exhale, bend the knees, step, hop or walk forward to the front. Halfway lift, breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up, reach for the roof. Exhale, cactus the arms, elbows down by the side, opening through the chest. Interlace the hands, inhale, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, bend the knees, chest to the thighs, hands to the roof. Release the bind, inhale, sweep the ground, sit the hips low, chair pose. Exhale, hands together, forward fold. Halfway lift, breath in. Exhale, plant the hands, downward facing dog. Breath in to come forward, high plank. Exhale to lower. Up dog or cobra on the inhale. Down dog on the exhale. Inhale, come onto the toes. Exhale, bend the knees. Step, hop or walk forward to the front. Halfway lift, breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising all the way up, reaching for the roof. Exhale, cactusing the arms, opening the chest. Inhale, interlace the hands, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, fold as your hands come up towards the roof, bend the knees. Inhale, release the bind, sweep the earth with your hands, find chair pose. Exhale, hands together, forward fold. Halfway lift, breath in. Exhale, plant the hands, downward facing dog. Breathe in to come forward, high plank. Exhale to lower. Back bend, breath in. Down dog, breath out. Beautiful. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. When you inhale next time, take the right leg high, find a three-legged dog, and think about leveling off the shoulders here, so weight presses evenly between the hands, and the right leg left nice and high up in the air. One more deep breath in, and then on the exhale, bring the knee towards the chest, step the foot through in between your hands. We're coming into a low lunge here. Keep your left hand planted down on the ground. Inhale, take your right hand high, find a revolve. Back knee is lifted here, but you could drop it down if you wanted to. Gazing up towards the top hand, take a deep breath in, and then exhale, bring the hand back to the mat. Now we'll rise up to find a crescent lunge. So when you're ready, press in through the front foot, rise up, find crescent, let your hands reach for the roof, and think about aligning the hips towards the short edge of the mat. So you might need to encourage the left forward and the right back, and you find stability through the legs with your back heel lifted. Take one more deep breath in, and then on your exhale, standing splits. Take the hands towards the front foot, ground them, lift the left leg up. And we'll hold it here for another breath in and a breath out. And you can stay here, or on your next breath in, you come up to an aeroplane. So you really press through the grounded leg, let it be nice and strong as you bring the hands to heart, reach the crown forward, and your upper body then becomes parallel with the mat. One more deep breath in here, and an exhale out. Last inhale. Then on the exhale, back to standing splits. Head can come towards your knee. A breath in and a breath out. Now with control on the inhale, land your back foot. Let's rise back up to a crescent lunge, reaching for the roof. And then on the exhale, open your body wide to find a warrior two. So now you're lunging into the front knee, your back foot becomes parallel with the short edge of the mat, and you think about pushing into the knife edges of the feet. Shoulders over the hips. A deep breath in here, and an exhale out. As you inhale, flip your front palm, reverse your warrior, reach for the back of the room. Then as you exhale, find warrior two again. This time reverse your warrior, but straighten the front leg, lift the front toes. And then exhale, bring your hands to the mat, find a downward facing dog. Come through a vinyasa, forward into a high plank. Exhale to lower. Back bend, breath in. Down dog, breath out. And then the left leg lifts. Inhale, find three-legged dog. Hold it here again, a few breaths as you think about your positioning in this shape. Pressing weight even between the hands, seeing if you keep the hips level. One more deep breath in. And then an exhale, knee towards the chest, step the foot between the hands. We find our low lunge on the other side and prepare for the revolve. So right hand stays grounded down, left hand lifts up towards the roof. You can take your gaze up there if that feels okay for you here. Let's take for one more deep breath in. And then on the exhale, ground your left hand and we'll prepare to rise up for a crescent lunge. Lifting your hands up towards the roof, finding that stability through your legs with your back heel lifted, lunging into the front knee and taking a bend in the back knee if you need to feel steady or more comfortable here. We'll stay for one more deep breath in, and then on the exhale, standing splits. You start to push off through your back foot to lift it up, right leg extends and lifts, and then your hands towards the front of the mat help steady you in this pose. And you can stay here if you like, or find your way to an aeroplane on a breath in. So that's where you start to lift your hands off the mat, bring them to heart center, let the bat leg now extend long, and the crown reach forward, gaze down towards the mat. Take one more deep breath in. On the exhale, standing splits. We'll stay for a breath. Hands are now on the mat. And on the next inhale, back to crescent lunge, landing the back foot with control, reaching the hands up towards the roof. Exhale, warrior two. A few breaths here, feeling into the opening of the left hip as we lunge into the left knee. Strong back leg still, gaze over the front fingertips. One more deep breath in and an exhale out. As you inhale next time, legs stay where they are, sweep your left hand for the back, reverse your warrior, and then exhale, return to a warrior two. This inhale, reverse your warrior, but straighten the front leg, lift the front toes, and then exhale, hands to the mat, downward facing dog. Breathe in to come forward, high plank. Exhale to lower. Back bend, breath in. Down dog, breath out. And that's our flow for today. We'll come through that 2 times on each side, and now we'll move one breath, one movement. So let's take a deep breath in together here, and a long breath, sighing it out. One more like that, deep breath in. And then sigh out the exhale. Then the right leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, knee towards the chest, step the foot through. Left hand grounds down, right hand rises up in breath. Exhale, bring it back down to the mat. Inhale, come up to a crescent lunge, reach the hands high. Exhale, standing splits, lift the back leg up. Inhale, aeroplane, strength through the standing leg as hands come to heart. Exhale, hands back to the ground, standing splits. Crescent lunge on the in-breath, drop the back toe down, lift the arms up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale to reverse your warrior. Exhale, return to warrior two. Inhale, reverse, but straighten the front leg, lift the front toes. And then exhale, hands to the mat, windmill them down. Step back to downward facing dog. Come through your vinyasa, forward high plank. Exhale to lower. Back bend, breath in. Down dog, breath out. And then the left leg lifts, 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to the chest, step the foot through. Inhale, left hand high. Exhale, return it to the mat. Inhale, crescent lunge, lift the arms. Exhale, standing split. Lift your back foot up. Inhale, aeroplane, hands to heart. Lift the hands off the mat. And then exhale, return to your standing splits, head towards the leg. On the in-breath with control, come back, drop your back foot, rise up, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two, open up. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, return to warrior two. Inhale, reverse, this time straighten the front leg, lift the front toes. Exhale, hands to the mat, downward facing dog. Vinyasa is here, forward on the in-breath. Exhale to lower. Back bend, breath in. Down dog, breath out. Right leg lifts, in-breath. Exhale, knee to chest, step the foot. Rise the right hand on the breath in. Back down to the mat on the breath out. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Exhale, standing split, lift the back foot. Inhale, lift the upper body now, aeroplane. Exhale, standing splits, we return. Inhale, drop the back foot, crescent lunge, lift the arms. Exhale, warrior two. Breathe into reverse your warrior. Exhale, return to warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior, straight the front leg, lift the front toes. Exhale, hands to the mat, downward facing dog. Breathe in to come forward, high plank. Exhale to lower. Back bend, breath in. Down dog, breath out. Last time, left leg lifts, breathe in. Exhale, knee to chest, step the foot through. Left hand rises in breath. Exhale, it returns. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, standing splits, lift the back foot. Inhale, aeroplane, we fly and lift off here. Exhale, standing splits. Inhale, drop the back foot down, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior, open the side body. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior, straighten the front leg, lift the front toes. Exhale, hands to the mat, downward facing dog. Breathe in to come forward, high plank. Exhale to lower. Back bend, breathe in. Down dog, breathe out. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. One more like that, deep breath in, long breath out. On the next inhale, rise your right leg. This time you can open the hip, bring the heel towards your backside, lift the knee up towards the roof. One more deep breath in, and then on the exhale, bring the knee in towards the chest, step the foot through between the hands. Start to walk your foot to the right edge of the mat and then drop your back knee. Let's find a lizard pose here. So hands on the mat. This might be enough for you here and you feel that that intensity is just right for your hips. Or if you'd like to come a little bit deeper, you need more, you can come down onto your elbows. You can play around with coming onto the knife edge of your right foot, or perhaps you keep the whole thing grounded. You find what works for you in this shape, and we'll take a few breaths here. Using those deep breaths, long and nourishing, to help you start to soften into the hips here. We'll take one more deep breath in and an exhale out. Then come back onto your hands, moving to a half pigeon. Just start to walk your right foot towards the left side of your mat. Stay tall to start with, crown towards the roof. And then on the exhale, let's come down, take a little fold, sort of cactus the arms so we can lift back up on the in-breath. And we'll do that a few times. So take an inhale, spine nice and tall. Exhale, cactus the arms as you start to fold. Inhale, come up, reach the crown to the roof. And then exhale, lower down. Inhale, come up. And this time you could either choose to stay here, or perhaps you spend a few breaths here and then lower down. We'll spend, like maybe another 6 or so breaths in pigeon. So you can choose whether you do it up here, or you bring your upper body down. Perhaps you reach your arms forward. And if you need any props, you could always use them under your forehead or under your hips. And we'll just stay here for another few breaths. One more deep breath in and an exhale out. As you inhale next time, start to walk your hands up towards your shin, and then we'll lift up for a downward facing dog. So tucking the back toes under, right leg steps back. And then we'll move to the other side. So on the next breath in, the left leg lifts. And then you can open up the hip again, bring the heel towards the backside, knee towards the roof. You find a nice opening through the hip there. One more deep breath in. And then on the exhale, the knee comes forward. You step the foot between the hands or to the outside of the left hand, because that's where we're going anyway. And then you drop the back knee. Letting the right leg be long there on the mat. You find your lizard pose for today. And whether that's up on the hands or down on the elbows. And you can, again, play around with the positioning of your foot, angling it in, angling it out, coming onto the knife edge, keeping it grounded. You find what works for you today. And we'll spend a few breaths here, just like on the other side. And I encourage you to use the breath really intentionally through these more still postures, just to help you stay and to help you release. We'll take 3 more deep breaths here on this side. And when those 3 breaths are complete, you can press back up to the hands so that you can walk your foot over now to the right side of the mat. We find a half pigeon on the other side with the right leg extended long. And if you'd like to take that little flow of movement again, we'll do that now before we settle in. So the crown reaches to the sky on the inhale. On the exhale, you cactus the arms, keep the elbows lifted as you find a fold. The inhale will bring you back up again. And on the exhale, you'll fold. Again, lifting on the inhale. Exhaling to fold. Lifting up for the last time on the in-breath. And then you might choose to stay here if this works best for you, or you come down into your fold and you place your head perhaps on your hands, or you let your hands walk out long. Again, props, a good option if you need them. You could use pillows, you could use blocks. Sometimes I need one under my back knee. It feels a bit funny in this pose. Lots of people use them under the hip. We'll stay here for 3 more deep breaths. And when those 3 breaths are finished, you'll walk your hands back in towards your body. You'll tuck the right toes and lift back to a downward facing dog. From here, just walk the feet out to the edges of the mat, and then walk your hands back towards your feet as you start to sit your hips down and find yourself in Malasana Yogi Squat. Here you can use your elbows to encourage your knees to push back as your hips come forward. You find a really nice opening there through the hips. We'll just take a really quick side stretch in Malasana, grounding the right hand. Take an inhale, lift the left hand up and back. Gaze is back towards it. Another breath in, and then an exhale to release. left hand to the floor now. Inhale, right hand up and back. Gaze back towards it. Another breath in, and then exhale to release. Now take your hands behind you. You can ground your backside. Stretch your legs out long in front. And we'll take a forward fold. Hands towards the roof on the in-breath. And then exhale, pivot at the hips. Bring your upper body towards your legs. You can place your hands wherever is comfortable for you. Maybe it's just resting on the legs. Perhaps you take them around the feet. And you find a deep forward fold here. If you need to, always an option to bend the knees. Just a few breaths here as we really wind down the practice. And perhaps you can lengthen your spine with each in-breath and fold a little more with the out-breath. Two more deep breaths. And when those 2 breaths are finished, you lift your upper body up. Shuffle maybe a little bit forward if you need to be in the center of your mat before you roll the upper body down. Nice and slow and controlled. And when you're down, you take your feet to the roof, knees up towards the armpits, and then taking a hold of your feet, either from the inside or the outside, whatever feels better for you. I personally like holding my feet from the inside. And then you're in a happy baby pose, and you might like to rock a little bit side to side, if that feels good. Or you might like to apply some gentle pressure to your feet, encouraging your knees to come down towards the floor. Maybe you do both. And you've just got another 2 breaths here. And when those breaths are complete, release your feet from your hands. Take your feet to the edges of your mat, so left foot, left edge, right foot, right edge. Let your arms come out to a T, and then just drop your knees towards the left. So keeping the feet on the edges of the mat. All you need to do is drop the knees to the left. If you want to feel a little bit more here, you can take your left foot and place it just above your right knee. And your gaze could come towards the right. We'll stay here for 1 more deep breath in and an exhale out. As you inhale, lift the legs back up, place the feet on the ground, and then exhale, drop them to the other side, to the right side this time. Gaze can come to the left, and you can stay exactly there, or your option is to take the right foot or the ankle, place it just above the left knee, if that gives you a better sensation. One more deep breath in here and an exhale out. As you inhale, bring your knees up towards the roof, and then walk your feet out long, legs come out long. Arms by your sides now, you've reached Shavasana. Let your whole body relax. Let your whole body soften and melt into the floor. Stay with your breath, but let it be a natural pace now, one that's really comfortable for you. And I'm going to leave you here shortly, but I encourage you to spend as much time as you have here in your Shavasana, and to make the most of this time. All you need to do is be with your body and be with your breath. So as much as you can, keep your focus there on your breath, on your body. so that anything else disappears. There's no need right here, right now, to think about what's coming next or what happened before. You are here, this is the present moment, and this is what is important right now. So if you've got some time, spend it doing that, taking care of yourself. And if you don't have much time, at least give it 10 breaths. And I'll leave you with that now. But I hope you enjoy the rest of what's to come in your day and your practice. Namaste.